What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Give me just a second. Actually, whatever. We'll wait a minute to let everyone roll in, and then we'll get started. We'll get started in just a second. All right, how was everyone's weekend? Hope you guys had a good weekend, and some good time off the markets, and kind of just relaxed, and you know, enjoy time away from markets. But it's time to get back to work. It's time to get that discipline back on, and let's go over these charts. Let's see what's going on. All right, so I'll be back in 10 seconds getting my coffee, and we'll get started. All right, so as you guys know, we have GME and AMC on the move. So what does that mean? GME and AMC are on the move. So that means we're going to have volume spread out the board, okay? We're going to have volume more so stuck into these AMC, GME, and it might be tougher to trade this week, right? For our regular small cap trades. Now, sympathies, trading AMC and GME might be cleaner. We don't know what the continuation happens on this, so we're just going to have to wait and see. But overall, right now, there's a lot of volume stuck in AMC and GME and all those meme stocks, so that's something to be aware of. If these start going, then, it's good to play these for scalps. So that being said, right now, one stock is going BPTH, and now there's not that much running in pre-market, right? So why is BPTH running? Do I think it deserves a run? I mean, maybe. Chart's decent. The only reason why I see a run here on BPTH, technical wise, is a nice liquidity grab. So you guys can see that we have a lower wick here. Right, we have a nice, we'll start off from here, and then we'll. So you guys can see we have a low here, and we break that low. But not only that, right, because we can be using this low, this low, this low. The thing about this candle is that we opened up here at 345, right? We open up here at 345. We come all the way down to 327 and close back up at 345, or right around there, So very bullish candle right here. And then we broke below that level, reclaimed the 325, which was the candle that went from red to green, right? So this tells me, hey, a lot of buyers are going to be in this area. And I like trading these long wicks, like we saw on the one on Friday, the big one, the big runner. It had something similar, not Lucy, but the other one. It had something similar like this. And I like this, right? So because the reason why I like this is because it gives it room to, yeah, it was BNAI, right? I'll go over that. It gives it a lot of room to run. So if you're taking entries at 326 or below this level or just at this level, you have, just from a level to level perspective, you have room to run back up to 345. And usually they're going to build up into this area and then send it like they did on this one. So just to compare the charts, let's go over BNAI really quick to see what I'm referring to. Okay, boom, right here. So just to kind of show you guys what I'm referring to. We talk about big wicks, right? Big wicks give you range. So in live trading on Friday, right, I told the team our key level here is 336. Right now it's 337, it was 336, whatever, same thing. And I told them, hey, we're looking for this. There's a lot of range here, right? There's a lot of range here. So 340 all the way back up to 370. So we opened here at 370, went back to 338, and then gave us a range back up to 370. So what happened was we closed below this level, and then I told them watch for a breakout and retest of this level at any time of the day. 338, didn't know it happened super quickly, but you know, you guys can see we retested 338 twice, and then we had a range back up to what, 370. And then, like I said, they try to build up in here to be able to expand that move, right? So this is the consolidation that you look for, and these big wicks give nice range, and that's a really good sign to look for. So what happened here was like they broke below the lows, they grabbed liquidity. So what we talk about is liquidity, right? So our liquidity concept is still working here. We break below the low, we grab liquidity along with nice range on the candle, which gave us a nice move. So BPTH, what are we going to be looking for here? Our buddy JD Trade sent something here in chat via flash report. It shows that every single time. All right, check this out. 100% red closes on 6 gaps on BPTH. So typically what happens into open is that it'll gap up within the first, let's say 10-15 minutes. All right, within the first 10-15 minutes, BPTH gaps up historically on the last 6 runs, and then it gaps all the way back down. So I'm not denying the fact that there's a run right now, but just historically, it's good. It's a good reminder that JD sent is that this does have a, it's a historical fader. So just because it's running today does not mean it has to fade, but based on history repeating itself, it's probably going to get that pop and then fade into open, right? So enjoy it in pre-market and then move on. So BPTH might not trade it during the day, but if we do get a setup, my trade would probably be off of 345. And why is that? Well, the reason for that is because we look for level to level trading, right? So we broke below this candle low. That's the entry that we would have taken, right? It has range. And then now we're looking for a retest of the candle open of this level. So we broke the low. We grab liquidity below the low. That's one trade setup, right? So we have this. Okay. And now for continuation, I'm looking for a retest back into this level or something like this. If it sets up. Okay. So if that sets up, then I'll be taking this trade. Do you guys understand what I mean by this has range when I compared it to BNAI on BPTH? Right. So we break below 325, have room to 325 to build it up. Market makers are accumulating into this position, and then they expand their shares. Does that make sense? Let me know in chat, everyone. You guys understand what's going on so far? Keeping up? Everybody. All right, nice. Okay. Let's go over CRKN. So I know a lot of people talk about this stock, so let's go over it. All right, CRKN. We break below this low, and the first thing that I see is this candle right here, that we have this wick, and then we break below this low. Okay, so now, what are we looking for? So based off our liquidity concept, what has happened here? Review session, once again, like we do on every stream. Where does liquidity sit? Old people tell the new people study up. What happens here? What's going on here? We have a high, and then what? Every single day we go over this, and every single day it plays out like a freaking magic trick. So repeatable. Every single time we talk about highs, break of highs, you grab what? And then you target what? What's going on here? The answer comes where liquidity sits. So where does liquidity sit? Every single person. Make sure you guys this is an everyday review. Where does liquidity sit? Above and below what? Above what and below what? There you go. Okay. So for the new people and for the old people, just a refresher, liquidity is where all the orders are sitting. So it's typically above highs or below lows or above resistance and below supports. And what that is, or we'll go over that later. But anyway, so we have a high liquidity grab here, right? What happens is we have a high, we have tons of volume coming in, the same exact volume as we had on CRKN initial pop right here. So we have the same volume on both of these candles, but one of them has a move from 12 all the way to 14 almost, and this one has a move from 13 to 13 only to 14. So almost half of the move here, right? Half of the move on the same volume, and there was rejection on this volume over previous highs. So what happened? Buyers are obviously not here, and stop loss raid. This is a stop loss raid. Market makers grabbing all the orders. So where do you target? Market moves from liquidity to liquidity. So you have this 1376 high. You target all the way back to lows. They haven't grabbed liquidity as much, right? They accumulated on the way, but I'll look for something like this. All right, so what did we talk about on, we talked about this just a few minutes ago, okay? 1 second. We talked about this just a second ago, that we have a low at 1278 and then all the way back up to 1333. So this is a lower wick with some decent range. Now on CRKN, I'm not usually an active trader on this one, meaning I don't like to trade this often. If it's running and it has tons and tons and tons of momentum and tons of volume, I might trade it. But just on the day-to-day basis, I have not been trading it. Like, for example, on these runs, I haven't been trading it much, maybe like once between this run. And the reason for that, as a day trader, I like to have range and momentum and movement, especially as a low float stock trader. You guys see stocks like BPTH, making moves from 325 all the way to 425. So that's a dollar move, right? I'm used to that fluctuation. But on CRKN, you're stuck in a range for the past few weeks. So it's like, is it A plus plus as a trader that looks for a lot of moves, like big significant swings? Not really. So this doesn't give too many scalp opportunities. It's more so like if you have conviction, then you build that long position at this 1270. You kind of build this position to hold for the bigger move on this, if that makes sense. All right, so here's the gainer list we have. We went over BPTH. GME, we'll go over that at the end. YGMZ. All right. So in pre-market, what I was looking for on this stock, right? I was watching the stock, I was keeping eyes on it, and when I saw the wick with range, I was like, okay, this is a nice opportunity here. We might be seeing a nice opportunity. YGMZ has already ran once and then ran twice, so it's getting weaker, right? It's running out of buying pressure. But anyway, what I was looking for here on YGMZ is that if in this scenario that we have buyers step in here, right? So I'm like, okay, a scenario here is that we break below the low, grab liquidity under this low, like below this low right here, which aligns with this low right here. Okay, so we break below that, and then we start to head from 53 towards 56. All right, this is where market makers build their position if they want a liquidity sweep it below here, and then we start to get that massive move up. That's one scenario that I was looking for on YGMZ because this wick had some room on it. It was below a low, right? It was below a 5 minute, this whole 5 minute base. It was below that, and then I was looking for a liquidity grab. We did not get that, so there was no trade. YGMZ, I will not take a trade on here until we reclaim 53.42. Okay, hope that's clear. We have FFIE, obviously, on the run up. Now, what do you guys see here? There's a wick with range. which wick would you guys mark out here? I see it, and I know I saw it, you know, before the stream. I was analyzing and I was trading. So what do you guys see here? What, like, okay, this candle right here is 7 o'clock. This is a 5-minute chart. What time would you guys use it? From here, would it be 7:40? Would it be 8:10? Use 5-minute anchor. Where do you guys see the wick that I would use? The wick that I would use is right here. Okay, 71.25, which is at 7:10, 8:10, right here. Yes, correct. Cold Cypress, the hammer wick. Because this has range. This has range from 71.2 all the way back up to 73.5. If you look at any other wick on this stock, the only other wick that gives you that much range is the negative side, the downside from 68 to 63. That gives you range for the shorts under this level. And then this 68 level back to 69.5, it gives you range. These are the only two levels that gives you range, that give you range. So now you know that as long as 71.25 holds, I'm good for at least 73, and then buyers probably step back in to run it back up. Okay, so that's one thing. So we already got our range candle. Now let's go over liquidity. Okay. So what happened here? Why did we reject here on FFIE? So we have a high here. Okay, so talking about liquidity to kind of get you a better example, we have a high here, right? Initial high, and then it comes down. We break the high, right? Breakout traders are buying. They're thinking that, hey, from 71 we could probably go to $1. A lot of newer traders are probably thinking that, and then it starts to head back down. And because everyone is thinking that it's going to break out and start to head to $1, that's exactly what I mean. Every single person is thinking that it's going to do that. That's exactly why it does the opposite. And why is that? Because all the orders are sitting here. Everyone's buying here. Like, okay, it's time to chase and time to chase the breakout. That is exactly why market makers take advantage. They're able to run it back down all the way to the next liquidity pool and then back up. Okay, and then we break this high again, struggling here a bit. And now what you look for is just a move off of this like 71.3, 71.25 area. Is this clear? What the plan is, look for 71.2 holds. I'm not taking any trades right now, but just understanding that we have room to 73.5 right now. Is that clear? You guys understand what's going on in the stream so far? Yes, no, maybe? Let me know. Be honest. All right, let's check out CRKN for a second. I know we went over this, but looking at my phone for a second, I see CRKN holding this level. So kind of explain to you guys what's probably going to happen here. So we tested the candle with range on it, right? We have this lower wick. We have range from 1280 all the way back up to 13.3. So what's probably going to happen is CRKN is going to hold this level. Oh, it is holding the level. And then now we start to head back up towards the candle with range on it. So what's the candle with the most range on this stock today? It's literally the candle that we're watching. So because it's 1278, 1303, CRKN is probably going to start gaining momentum and then probably break through highs. So just based off of the range candles and probability setups, that's probably what's going to happen on CRKN. But anyway, what else do you guys want to keep on watch? Okay, so sympathy plays in case GME and AMC start going absolutely nuts. I'm going to be watching KOSS, COS. This is a nice sympathy play. You guys know this trade's pretty clean. We have NEG, which trades nice. It's not actually running right now, but NEG does have a pretty clean run the way it trades. What else is that? That's probably it right now. BNET. or sorry, BNED. Don't, this might run today. And then quite a few people are talking about MBOT. Okay, so MBOT's on the list as well. We have a PR here. I'm just going over the screenshot again. Right, only a few stocks with PR. BPTH, news, press release. Zoom in. Okay. MBOT, press release. SCPX, press release. SRCL, press release. Rest of these stocks, FFI, BNED, HGO, CRKN, YGMZ, GME, all these stocks that are running with volume don't have news. So higher probability is trading stocks like BPTH, MBOT. But we talked about BPTH being a known fader, but besides the point, it's that SCPX and MBOT have the news. So if MBOT has the news, obviously that's probably where the volume is going to be. Now, let's go over something on MBOT. What's going on here? What's going on here? I marked it out for you guys, but last week on Friday, or either Thursday or Friday, we talked about a stock that had not broken a high, and still dumped. What does that mean? Does anyone remember? We have a high, but clearly you guys can see we have not grabbed liquidity over this high. So what does that mean? Kind of just gave the answer there. On accident. What does that mean? Any clues what this means? We have a high, but you guys can see we talked about liquidity breaks, right? So on FFI, we saw a break, and then we saw them move down because they grabbed all the orders. So what happens here? There's what? There's leftover something here. Because in order to, I'm trying to give you guys the answer. In order to make this move down, you grab blank, and then you target blank. And then now, because they didn't break the high, there's leftover blank. It's the same answer for every single blank. And now, if you join the stream, everyone should know the answer. All right. Yep. You guys got it. Liquidity is the answer. There you go. Good stuff. So everyone understands it now. We have not broken high here. Just to compare the charts, what did we just go over? FFI, there was one more I think we went over. Did BPTH have a liquidity grab? Oh, yeah. We have higher day. It's not that clean. FFI. So we talked about on FFI. Let's compare the charts. So you have a high. One sec. All right. Just to kind of explain liquidity. So we have a high here, okay, and we fail to break the high, but we still make that move down. We have a high here. We break the high, grab, like we said, everyone in chat, liquidity. You grab liquidity, and then you make that move down, okay? And then you make that move down. Okay, they grab liquidity here. Over here on MBOT, they failed to grab liquidity. They failed to break the high. That means there's two scenarios. Either there wasn't enough liquidity sitting here to break out, or there's still leftover liquidity. And that just tells us the consolidation here before the breakout will be good. And guess what's happening right now? CRKN is ripping. CRKN, 1329. Like we said, off this 1278. I was trading on the side. I have a 10 grand position. Don't chase it. I traded on my own. But yeah, that was a nice trade. So now we have room back up to what? 1376. Right? Because, sorry, 1333. Probably going to go back up to highs. Done live in front of you guys. You guys saw this. Everyone saw this pan out. Does this make sense? Candle with range. You break below. You grab the liquidity. And now you have range to run. Is this clear? Everyone saw this happen live. We started going over it when I was at 1310 on this black candle. Does this make sense on CRKN? This is a live example that just happened in front of every single person. So is that clear? I know it's not big, but I'm up $400 or $375 on the position. You guys can see that. But it was a nice pre-market trade, right? Nice scalps. I'm still holding. But just to show you guys that this is real, this works. And it happened live. So is that clear? Does everything make sense here? We started going over CRKN at 9 o'clock when the candle was here. We said we want to see a retest into 1278, which is the candle with the biggest wick. And then that's exactly what happened. So now we're filling that wick. When will you sell CRKN? I'm not going to mention that. I didn't even mention that I added until it was after to tell you guys this is not a position that I'm alerting for a buy. Just something that I'm doing on my own to play out. So don't follow that from me. Okay. But just to kind of show you guys, see now we're rejecting. What are we rejecting? That gap fill, or that exactly where the range was. So range trading from 1278, you went from 1278 all the way back up to 1333. That's exactly what happened. So now what happens? What happens here now is that you look for a build into this level until this candle close holds at 1333, and then you look for something like that, okay, for the next leg. But it's amazing that you guys can see this workout live. I'd love to see it. But yeah, you guys can see we're rejecting off of that range. What else do we have? All right, so we went over most of the stocks, except the penny SCPX. We did not go over SCPX. It's almost time to head out. It's 8:18. All right, SCPX, candle with range. Only candle that I see is this one right here, 1280, and then that's also a decent low. So what we'll do is we'll mark out these two candles. The reason we're marking out these two candles, let's do it quick. We have a low here. So, like we know, liquidity grabs. We broke this high here. We grabbed liquidity, okay? We have a high here. We broke the high. Candle closed over it. Boom, dump. Obviously, this becomes a what? A liquidity grab. Let's mark that zone out as liquidity for selling pressure. That's all sellers, okay? That's all red. Now, if there's resistance here, obviously you don't want to buy into this level. You want to start looking for liquidity grabs to the downside. So 1250, you guys can see there's obviously we break the high, grab liquidity. So now we target down to the lows. 1255, you look for a break below 1255, grab liquidity, and then you start to head back up. Reclaim 1282, which is that candle with some decent range, back up to 1337. And then this is the candle that flipped all the way green, so back up to 14.4. Okay, so instead of buying at 14.4, you start to look for trades off of 12.55. So concept here, look for a liquidity grab like we saw up here, right? And then you look for a retest of 12.82 for a move back up to 13.3, retest, and then start to head back up. This is the plan on SCPX, okay? We'll hit fire on GME like I talked about. I'm probably not going to be trading too actively on this stock. And just a reminder for those people that are tuning in late that we do have these meme stocks running, so a lot of volume is going to be trapped into these. Now you guys can see candle with the ranges. Let's go to the larger time frame. Candle with the range is obviously right here, right? Biggest wick on the stock from 37 to 40. That's a $3 move on the stock. And then we also have this range right here. So if we hold 39.14, then we have room back up to what? 41.16. A plus setup would be on the stock with the biggest range. Also break of the current low of day, which is where liquidity is going to sit, right? So we have a low here along with the biggest range. So what is that? That's double confluence. So obviously A plus setup for GME is down at 37.33. Okay, we break below this low, grab liquidity, reclaim 37.33. Then you guys can see we have range from 37 all the way back up to 40.8. So we'll mark that'll be resistance as well. So from here, 37 all the way back up to 41.5. That's a pretty significant move. Options would probably go like 50 to 75% here. And you know, share traders would be very, very happy with this move. So that's the GME chart. It's time for me to head inside the Discord and start to make some money today. Remember, it's a Friday. Volume is stuck into these bigger plays right now, so do trade careful. We'll see what the market gives us. We'll look for trade opportunities. If this 39.14 holds, then obviously you guys know the targets that we just went over. Other than that, I hope you guys made some money. I'm about to go on live trading with my team, so if you guys want to trade with me for free for the whole week, 7 days, and also get access to the the course. If you guys enjoy the way I teach and you guys want this every single day, you guys can check out mmlinks.co/7days. And then you guys can come join that, or the top link in the description. Come join me, come trade with me. It's always a good time, and it's a family in there, right? So, all right, guys, I will see you all on live on YouTube on Wednesday, and then okay, sorry, everyone's coming at me because I said it's Friday. I'm sorry. It's Monday. So. I meant to say it's Monday. We know the volume is stuck into GME. We want to see how we set the tone for the week. And then we will make some money. So, yeah, come join me for live trading. Other than that, it's been Minnie. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.